What's up everyone? The house guests are beginning to turn against production, plus Kelly bringing dead bugs into the house, and the BB Comics Veto competition results are here. We've got so much to talk about, so welcome to your live feed update. Right before we get started, if you are new around here, make sure to hit the subscribe button. I'm here every single day breaking down everything you need to know about what's going on inside Big Brother 27. Plus, I'm also covering other shows like The Challenge, with Amazing Race coverage coming in a few weeks' time, so get ready for that one, folks, by hitting the subscribe button. I'm also going to ask you all to hit the like button. It takes all of 0.2 seconds just to click that little thumbs up down there, and it helps me more than you even know as a smaller content creator. And one more thing, folks, I do put a lot of time and effort into these videos, so if you feel like buying me a coffee or supporting me in any way, shape or form, please consider leaving a super thanks below or hitting up my PayPal link in the description. But without further ado, let's get to the update. Alright gang, let's waste no time whatsoever. I want to show you all a little something first. Look at this little lapel that someone got me, little pin badge. It's Angela doing the crazy eyes thing. It's rather marvellous, right? Look at that. I had to wear that. Somebody sent me that in the mail video. The mail video that you've all been waiting for is officially uploaded now. I'll tag it, so if you want to go check that out. But that was one of the wonderful things. People sent me a little Angela pin, so I'm wearing that today. So go check the mail video out now. But the house guests are turning against production. Not just house guests, but previous house guests who've competed in previous seasons. I've seen winners speaking out. I've seen people who've competed in the past, from over a decade ago, speaking out. And I'm going to start with what some of the house guests have been saying. All of this outrage comes from Rachel's elimination. I think a lot of people are feeling annoyed about, how it happened. Because I've also seen comments in my section saying, I'm not sad to see Rachel go, which is fair enough. Each of us have got our own opinions. Some of us like Rachel, some of us don't. But I've also seen a lot of the people who are saying, I am not sad to see Rachel go, also saying, but I'm not too pleased with the way they've done it. It doesn't seem fair. It doesn't seem just. And I think that's the majority of the sentiment from a lot of these house guests and a lot of previous house guests as well. So first of all, we're going to talk about something that Ava said. And it's weird because all of this stuff's been happening on the live feeds, and I think all of us are in shock that they're showing them being, all these house guests being so anti-production here. But Ava said this. Okay. This is just a competition game. It's just the challenge. We're literally just on the challenge, and there's extra steps, and it's more psychologically sad. Everybody that can win a competition, they'll just win Big Brother. Blockbusters till the end, so what's the point of having a social game? Yes, that's a sentiment that I think has been brought up by a lot of people. I may or may not be feeling the same way myself. Just gonna take that sip for effect there. I don't know. It seems a little icky because the blockbuster already breeds, you don't need a social game. But I like it because it gives somebody an extra chance. But then on top of that, when you throw in a twist where somebody can go based off of no social game whatsoever, I think that's a lot of the outrage as well, not even hitting the block for all that time and then she's gone, whether you like Rachel or not. You got to admit it feels like a little bit of a flaw in the game, and I think a lot of people are feeling this way. But another one I want to bring up is somebody that most Big Brother fans know and love. It's Dan. Dan, who won Season 10, and that people consider him the greatest winner of all time. He returned for Season 14. He was runner-up on that season. And Dan tweeted the following. He later deleted the tweet. Don't know what that was about, but here is what he said. Regarding the Rachel news, I was rooting for her to be the first two-time winner. Can't even imagine how devastated she must be. Always having a chance to fight to stay in the game, knowing it's never over until the final vote is cast, is what I've always loved about Big Brother. Maybe this will help return the franchise to less severe game mechanic twists, or even no twists at all. So that's Dan Giesling's thoughts on the situation. That sums up, the middle sentence sums up exactly how I feel as an updater. Always having a chance to fight to stay in the game and knowing it's never over until the final vote is cast is what I've always loved about Big Brother. That I agree. There's always that chance. Even if you do get backdoored, so you don't get a chance to play in the veto. You still have an opportunity to have your social game save the day. And of course, we're going to find out on Tuesday's episode how everything went down with Rachel. But from what everyone gathers, it sounds like people had an option to compete in something, and a few people did. They had a maze, and it seems like Rachel got eliminated over a maze. This is madness. Even just, I feel crazy even saying this as a... It doesn't matter who went, whether it was Kelly, Keanu, Rachel, Morgan, Vince, whoever. I think the outrage would have been all the same. I think it just hurts a lot more for certain people because this is somebody who was doing the impossible. It's a 2-time winner who was making it 8 weeks in without even hitting the block, and I think people were flabbergasted at how it just went like that. So yeah, that was Dan's thoughts, and that was one of Ava's thoughts. Let's talk about what Ashley said. This is a long take, this one, folks. There's so much that people are saying regarding this. So Ashley says, it's a competition show. Low-key, I didn't sign up for a competition show. It's barely social anymore. You can be safe 1 second and then someone comes down and you go up. Ava jumps in and says, half the house goes on the block. Ashley says, I hate this new school, Big Brother. Man, I am... Again, I'm flabbergasted that they're actually allowing us to see this on the live feeds because, and I know what a lot of people will be thinking now, it's only because those two liked Rachel. Want to hear what Vince had to say, folks? Even Vince jumped in on this one. Vince said, depending on what kind of mastermind this is, I don't want people being eliminated by games. Like, that sucks. We've busted our asses over 2 months and you can go home on an effing maze? Yeah, so there's a lot of fear amongst house guests right now who've put in 2 months of gameplay and 2 months of working their ass off, and they're worried that it's just going to go like that, without even an opportunity to campaign for votes, without even an opportunity to save themselves in a power of veto. You can go home on an effing maze, to quote Vince. Just when you think that's it, how about we hear what Lauren had to say? This is like well over half the house, and Morgan was involved in this conversation as well. So Ava stood up and she was saying to Morgan and Lauren, I feel like everything we've done to this point has been bullshit. I can just sit in my room, win a blockbuster, or put a puck in a goddamn hamster wheel. What are we talking about, Mastermind? He's gone 2 months, and then Lauren chimes in and says, and then all of a sudden he's running the effing game. People are annoyed. House guests are really, really annoyed. I've seen Reagan speak out. Reagan, who had the iconic fight with Rachel. I've seen Tyler, of course, who showed up for the White Locust twist. He addressed people online because he knew he was going to get backlash from very irrational fans. This happens, I've received backlash for Rachel being evicted, and it's so odd. Like, it's not like a lot of people, but there are some really kind of odd parasocial fans out there who blame the live feed updaters, or blame Julie Chen Moonves, or blame the people or blame Tyler for hosting the comp. So Tyler did address the people before and said, he doesn't necessarily agree with it, and he was just prefacing everything before the backlash comes on Tuesday's episode because Tyler was hosting the White Locust competition. It's ridiculous if people are sending hate towards Tyler. You might like Tyler in the game, you might not, but does he deserve the blame for this? Absolutely not, in the same way that those live feed updaters don't deserve it. It's weird, it's odd, and people need to calm down and direct it elsewhere, because we're just the messengers, in the same way that Tyler was just the host of this comp. So yeah, even who remembers? Okay, this is we're digging into the archives right now, but who remembers Chima? Chima, who of course, famous Chima. I don't even need to say more on that. Even she spoke out. I'm not even mentioning all of them, but there's so many people. Brendan, obviously Rachel's husband, spoke out. There has just been absolute outrage of people saying that they are done watching Big Brother. And I mean, this happens every year when people's favourites go. It happened last year with Tucker. It happened, the year before when like Izzy and Heisem went in the previous year. But I've got to say, this feels different. This feels like there's more. Oof. And I've got to say, ratings have been up this year, like a lot on Big Brother. Like, I've been blown away by how much they've managed to get the ratings up by almost 1 million viewers, and some nights more than that. And it's been pardon Rachel, because Rachel's came back to do this 2-time win thing, and she's brought the viewers back up. And then we're going to talk about the veto very, very soon, which could result in somebody else getting evicted, or will result in somebody else getting evicted this week. And why I'm concerned about ratings even more after Rachel's gone, and why this next person who's going to probably be evicted or could be evicted could affect the ratings even more. This has been a lightning striking on the house situation for Big Brother, and it's just it's wild to watch. It's wild to watch, and I've got the feeling that this backfired on production. I don't think they expected Rachel to go, and then I don't think they expected Lauren to win HOH, and then target somebody who is arguably the casuals' favourite, because live feeders' favourites tend to be Rachel. Again, there are lots of live feeders who don't like Rachel, and the casuals' favourite is Keanu, I would say, this season. And I'm going to talk about the veto results right now. Let's try and one-shot this video. I never one-shot it, but I'm going to try and do the whole thing, because there's a lot to talk about today, and I feel like just bridging from one thing to another is the best thing to do. So it was the iconic BB Comics comp, which we all know and love, where every single house guest gets a comic mimicking them, similar in fashion to like the Marvel comics, you know, the Invincible Iron Man, the Incredible Hulk, the Mighty Thor, but each house guest gets one of those versions. And of course it was the head of household Lauren and the 3 nominees in Will, Ashley and Morgan, and the 2 people to pick to play on top of that were Ava and Vince. Folks, I can reveal that the winner of BB Comics this year, winning the iconic Big Brother competition, it was a nominee. It was Morgan. Massive congratulations to Morgan. She can go toothbrush hunting for a few more days now, so well done to her. And she can pull herself off the block, because she was really, really, really bummed about the fact that she was nominated, and it probably means that she can get things back on track with Vince for a few days. Man, those two are like... Vince doesn't seem to have any remorse about this, because on top of that, I'm going to say, because Morgan's going to pull herself off the block, very likely, and just to preface, I think Keanu is going to be the replacement Nom. Whether he goes out the house or not is another story. I do think Ashley is probably most at risk this week, but if she wins Blockbuster, I could definitely see Keanu going, and that's why I'm worried about ratings, because let's talk about that for a second. That's disastrous. If production loses Rachel Riley and Keanu within the space of 1 week, oof. I mean, I'm no genius, but that's not good for business. That is not good for business at all, because, you know, a lot of people love Keanu, a lot of people hate Keanu. A lot of people love Rachel, a lot of people hate Rachel. But the point is, when you've got figures like that, people are going to tune in way more to watch those two that people go hard for, rather than someone like Lauren or someone like, I don't know, I'm thinking about people who just fall into the background and people just don't really ride hard for. But when you've got those more polarizing figures, people always hate and love, and, you know, it goes right down the middle. Similar to Tucker last year. I remember ratings going down after Tucker went, after Angela went, and it's one of those things, you know, you might not like this person, but at the end of the day, from a business level and from, you know, just a numbers perspective, you lose the big figures, you lose the numbers. No, you lose the big figures, you lose the big figures, if that makes sense. The figures of the house and the figures in the ratings. So yeah, Big Brother has probably got to pull out all the stops to keep Keanu in this week, because that could be disastrous for numbers. But yes, Morgan, congratulations on winning the veto. Now, we were talking about Morgan and Vince for a second, and Keanu actually took Vince to task regarding the fact that he's got a girlfriend outside the house. So let's talk about that for a second. So Vince was in the shower, and Keanu says to Vince, she knows you've got a girlfriend, right? Talking about Morgan. And Vince just like went, and like laughed. It was really smarmy, actually. And he says, yeah, I think it was just game stuff. Last time I checked, caressing one's leg isn't game stuff. And hugging one for 2 minutes straight isn't game stuff. And Keanu says, is it? It can't just be me, bro. Come on. Keanu's saying what we're all thinking. That line, I'm going to say it again. Is it? It can't just be me, bro. Come on. He's saying what we're all thinking. He is saying what we are all thinking. This man has a girlfriend on the outside, and Vince laughed in his face when Keanu brought it up. It's absolutely insulting, and he's going to deal with the backlash of that when he gets out. But of course, all we can talk about is what's going on the live feeds. And what I see happening on the live feeds is complete disrespect for a relationship of 7 years. And yeah, it's nasty. It's nasty, nasty, nasty. And I honestly don't think, if we're playing predictions right now, I don't think Morgan will be hanging around for much longer after finale night. I just see her moving on immediately. She'll follow the scent of the toothbrush, go right back to Zach or somebody else. I just don't see it. I mean, like Morgan, I've seen a pattern with her, and that's why I kind of see her going elsewhere. And Vince, man, I think Morgan's in a situation in which she needs to latch onto somebody. She's lost Mickey, who, you know, she wasn't close to by the end of it, and she lost Zach, and now she just clings on to Vince. And when she gets outside the house, she's going to have people in her real life. She doesn't need to cling to Vince anymore, which is why I feel like she's going to jump in the other direction. Just on a psychological level, we've seen this is how she operates. She jumps from one person to another when she needs them, but she's not going to need them after she leaves the house. So, yeah, that's that. And Keanu bringing that up, oof, I think he said what we were all thinking. All right. Next up, we're going to talk about Ava. Now, Ava had a discussion about winning America's Favorite Player, and it was kind of a little bit sus. I didn't really like what she said. You know, she was in a conversation, and she was saying she expected herself to be in the top 3 of America's Favorite Player, and she really wanted to get it. And my thoughts on this are, I don't like when people go out of their way to try and win America's Favorite Player. It's supposed to be organic. It's supposed to be a given. I just think it comes across as a little conceited if you're saying things like that. But now, because Rachel got beheaded so early in the game, or I say early, there's 3 weeks left, but in the manner that she did and the placement that she got, I think she's reading the minds of a lot of people outside of that. People are going to rally behind Rachel for America's Favorite Player. And I see the top 3 easily, and you can put a pin in this because I think it's going to come true. But I think the top 3 will be Rachel, Keanu, and Ava. And I think Rachel's going to get it. And the reason being is because this is the kind of thing that happens when somebody gets taken out a little earlier and fans get hurt about it. People rally the troops in the same way that Tucker got it, in the same way that Devon got it on 22. It's that same fashion. Cody on 19 again. I wasn't personally a fan of him, but it's the same mechanics where if somebody goes early and a lot of people like them, people latch on and come through for that. And Rachel's already got the pre-built-in fans. If she'd gone in the first few weeks, I don't think she would have gotten America's Favorite Player, but in the fashion that she went out and, you know, with this whole elimination thing, it's put a stick of dynamite of so many people's asses, and they're really gonna gun for it now because they feel like it's an injustice. So I do see Rachel winning America's Favorite Player, and Ava's kind of clocked onto that. She was acknowledging that she basically feels bummed about the fact that she thought she could get it, but now she sees that Rachel's going to get it. What you going to do? I'll tell you what you're going to do. Maybe go into the house and don't try to win America's Favorite Player from the off. That gets bad brownie points from me. Don't like that at all. I've liked Ava this whole time, but there's been a few moments where I've just thought, that ain't it. You know, when she lashed out at Keanu over the clothes thing, and I was like, nobody brought up your clothes. And then when she was talking about how, you know, she automatically thinks she's going to be in the top 3 for AFP, I see a bit of an ego with Ava, and when it shines through like that, it's not very nice. I don't like it. But yeah, I do see Rachel winning America's Favorite Player. In arguably the most odd, bizarre, strange, disgusting, foul, vile moment of the season. Yes, I had to pad it with all those adjectives. I've got a little bit of audio I'm going to play for y'all right now. Microphone's right in front of me. Sit yourselves down. This is regarding Kelly was... I'm going to set the scene. Disbelief. They're in the backyard. Kelly and Keanu sat there and he's looking at her and saying, "What are you doing?" And she's basically got a dead bug in her hand. And here's what she plans to do with it. Are you ready for this? Here you go, folks.
I bring bugs in the house.
What are you doing?
Bringing a bug in the house.
Why?
Because it's dead, and I like them. They're decorations.
Okay.
And if I ever get evicted, as I walk out the door, I'm going to say, "I hid X amount of bugs. The first person to find all of them wins $1,000.
I'm not allowed to say that.
Where do I even begin? Where do I even begin? You all heard that? Just to clarify, if you didn't quite understand what was going on, Kelly took a dead bug in her hand. Keanu said, "What are you doing?" She said, "I'm taking it in the house." Keanu says, "Why?" She says, "Because it's dead and I like it. They are decorations." Decorations? Would you put it on a Christmas tree? Decorations? Give me strength. I'm looking for the will. I'm looking for the will. Decoration? What does that even mean? And then she said, and then if I get evicted, I can say I hid X amount of bugs in this house and the person who finds the most can get $1,000. What does that even mean? Is she going to take $1,000 out of her own bank account for that? Because I don't think CBS is putting up the money for that. Dead bugs? Decorations? I don't get paid enough for this. That is all of your live feed updates for today, folks. I didn't expect us to be talking about dead bugs as decorations, but here we are at the 2-month mark. Definitely some insanity kicking in, or maybe that's just Kelly. I want to thank everybody for watching. What a bizarre update. What a different update. It's just, these last few days have been a very different feel in the Big Brother fandom that I haven't felt in a long time. It's very rare there is a massive feeling of unity amongst fans because everybody in the community is usually split, different ways depending on the house guests we like. But even it's been fascinating watching Rachel lovers and even Rachel haters come together, and I'm not saying every Rachel hater's jumped on there, but a lot of people saying, I'm not sad to see Rachel go. I don't like Rachel, but I disagree with the mechanics in the game and how they've done this. It's not Big Brother-esque. It's not the game we know and love. It's not the core part of the game that we've watched for so long. And it's been odd seeing unity like that. So what a strange few days for the Big Brother community. But I want to remind everybody that the mail video is up now. The mail video that we've been talking about forever. Some amazing packages sent and some amazing postcards. So go check that out. Show it some love. And I will remind everybody that there is going to be another mail video at the end of the season. Now, what I will preface this with is it's going to be as good as what you guys put into it. So if you want to send in postcards and packages, the more you guys send in, the better the next video is going to be. So if you feel like surprising me with something or you want something to be in the next video, we had so much fun making that one. So let's make the next one even better. I would love to hear from you with the address on screen right now. Okay, folks, I've got a few super thanks before we close things up. Definitely a lot of opinions today based on what's been going on. So let's get to these and read them out. First up, we'll start with David Cushmore. And David Cushmore says, "Hi Tom, Vince is a good actor. All of these things he has been doing, like crying and talking to other house guests. He should get best actor for crying and talking to others. It's true. Kelly should get best actress for lying and winning the BB Blockbuster games. Yeah, and for bug decorating. Eat M&Ms and drink Starbucks coffee. I certainly will, David. It's that time of year for Starbucks as well. Oh, man, those pumpkin drinks at Starbucks. I'm getting into those. I really am. I don't know if it's been in America. Maybe I just am having Starbucks more. I've been having Dunkin' a lot. Dunkin' Donuts, coffee, and just Dunkin' in general. I think it's part of becoming a New Englander as well. It's my transition from old England to New England. I've still got the England in me. And being able to get into Dunkin' has been awesome. But Starbucks is fantastic as well. Thank you so much, David Cushmore. Next up, we've got the wonderful Karen Foraker. And Karen Foraker says, "Thanks, another great recap, Tom, and that's on my challenge video. Thank you so much." Yeah, that was an intense episode with CT. He went through, he's a challenge legend, and he's He was the main figure of last week's episode, so that was pretty intense to see him in the shouting matches and all that kind of jazz. It's wild. So thank you so much, Karen, for your support on my challenge video. Next up, we've got a regular on this channel. It's the wonderful Kimberly the Goat. And Kimberly says, I am so livid. I hate when they do something stupid like this. Every contestant should have the opportunity to be voted out. This is very aggravating. Thank you for the quick update. I just wish it could have been better. Yeah, it was an intense update to say the least on that one. The only phrase that keeps coming to mind to make it acceptable is expect the unexpected, but even then we don't expect a twist like that, you know. So I understand everything you said there, Kimberly, and you're not the only one who feels that way in the Big Brother fandom. Thank you, Kimberly. Next up, we've got Pink Jellybean 4019. Well, I love the name Pink Jellybean. That's fantastic. And Pink Jellybean says, I really hope she isn't gone. But thanks for all your hard work on these vids. I can't wait to watch and see how all this plays out. My whole family has watched Big Brother since the beginning, and when we can get together and watch the episodes, we are from Louisiana like Lauren, but don't really root for her because she's boring and hypnotized by the lip. That's kind of hard to root for. Ready to hear your take when it does air. Yeah, if you're watching this on Sunday, we'll find out in a couple days' time. If you're watching this on Monday, it's tomorrow, and if you're watching this on Tuesday, it's tonight. We'll find out what happened on the White Locust episode. It seems like there is a special episode on Tuesday to find out what's going to happen when Rachel left the house. I think everybody's on the edge of their seats for that one. Thank you so much, Pink Jellybean. That's lovely that you can watch it with your family, and since the beginning, it's special, you know, when you can share that thing with your family, the thing that you all love and can get together for. It's wonderful. So thank you for sharing that with me. Next up, we've got Giggle Times, and Giggle Times, that's a fun name. Giggle Times says, thank you for your updates this season. You're greatly appreciated. Well, that's very kind. I appreciate that very much, and that's very sweet. It's lovely to feel appreciated, and I know that people are enjoying my content. So thank you so much to you. Next up, we've got another one from the great David Cushmore. This one's a bit longer, so I'm going to throw it up on screen right now if you want to pause and check this one out. Thank you again, David Cushmore. And yes, AJ Lee returns to WWE. Of course, that's been all over the news. I don't know who AJ Lee is because I wasn't watching WWE back then. But listen, any friend of CM Punk is a friend of mine, so I'm very happy with that. And yeah, definitely I want to see Will get a win. I would love to see Will get a win. I like him a lot. Just of the people that are left on a personal level, he's cool, he's chill. I like him. I would love to hang out with him. He's awesome. And Ava has to kick it into gear if she wants to win Big Brother. Yeah. She's doing a lot of mourning. And as much as the frustration is real, she's doing more mourning than everybody else, and you can't let that distract you from the game. But thank you so much, David Cushmore. And next up, we've got Super Christian Meworld, and Super Christian Meworld says, this bullshit twist is very stupid. At the worst possible time with Kelly in power at that time, she would have made a big move and put Rachel on the block, but no, production had to murk it up. Ratings opportunity with Rachel versus Kelly, poof, gone. Start looking for your imaginary ratings, CBS, because we know where this season is heading, in the bloody raging sea with no life vest. Yeah, I saw somebody say ratings, grab a life vest. I'm done with BB27. See you next summer. Gonna get back to Once Upon a Time Season 2 on Sundays, Netflix Wednesdays, and Scandal again on Thursdays. Welcome to fall, Tom. I'm happy to be in fall, and thank you so much for your super thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, I have seen a lot of people saying they're done. Of course, I'm going to be sticking it out. That's my job. I will be here until the end of the season giving you all the coverage, but I do understand the frustration with people because there has definitely been a shift, I think, in momentum. Whether you like Rachel or not, there has definitely been a movement in the fandom that has kind of felt like there has been less excitement over the past few days. You can feel it. You can feel it in the air. Of course, excitement if you don't like Rachel, but there has just been so much outrage. It's hard to ignore, but thank you so much, Super Christian Meworld. I hope that you're still going to stop by for the rest of the season and would love to see you around here, but thank you so much for your super thanks. And then, last but certainly not least, from a few hours ago on the mail video, we've got the wonderful Kimberly the Goat. And Kimberly the Goat says, thanks for taking the time to make such a kind and caring video. Luna Rosa, wonderful Kimberly's granddaughter, watched most of the video with me. She can only sit still for so long, but she loved the part with her postcard. She had to tell everyone in the house that you were talking to her. You made her day. Thank you so much to you and Sam for all the effort you guys put into these videos. Have a great day. Well, thank you so much. That warms my heart so much. Kimberly the Goat sent a lovely postcard with Luna Rose on it, and it was the cutest thing ever, and it was so sweet, and she is such a lovely sweetie, and I'm so glad we got to have that little postcard moment in the video there. So that warms my heart. That made her day. Tell her again that I said hi, Kimberly. Both of you guys are wonderful, and I'm sending you both so much love. But yeah, I'll say one more time, folks, before you leave, go check out that mail video. It's a long one, so it's a nice little Sunday treat if you're watching this on Sunday, if you want to chill out. Make yourself a nice coffee or a cup of tea if you're feeling British, or whatever else tickles your fancy. Maybe you want something a little harder on a Sunday. Go sit down and watch the video. I hope you all enjoy it, but I hope that you're all staying safe, staying positive, and staying healthy out there, and remember to be kind to one another. But in the meantime, please don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, do all of that wonderful stuff. But until your next live feed update, I've been your host, Tom Vasey. Good night.